And then for meditation and any action, anything that you're going to do, I'm sure I've told you before, but 3 things. I like to call them M.A.D, M.A.D. So motivation and action and dedication. So this motivation, we can say, why? Action, how, relating to this. And then dedication, give to whom? So motivation, why am I doing this? You say, well, because I'm being paid to do it. Not such a great attitude. It's not enough to just go to the meeting because you're paid to do it. You should bring a better feeling to the meeting. And so why am I doing this? What's my motivation for doing it? Is it patience? Is it tolerance? If you want to have a patient mind, then you can have patience and tolerance as your motivation. You can say, for today, this is my patience day, my tolerance day, right? Or my love day. The opposite is love, and love is, I want you to be happy. So it could be that. And we'll talk about the 4 immeasurables and then these things. So motivation, why am I doing it? I think extremely important first thing in the day. When you wake up. I woke up. How incredible. But I've only got today, so if I've only got today, what would I do with today? Would I want to live today with patience, with tolerance, with anger, with hatred, with jealousy, with pride, with compassion, with love? You know, you've got a whole list of positives and negatives, so it's your choice what you're going to bring into the day. So why are you living today? Because I want to master or perfect this good quality. And I've only got today, because like somebody said, there is impermanence. We don't know this tomorrow. Can't say. We're really not sure. We should not be sure there is a tomorrow. We can only be sure we have this time. When you think like that, it sharpens your awareness of the present. When you think there may not be later, it makes you very aware of the present, okay? So that's in the motivation. Action, how are you going to do the action? Based on that good motivation. How? So you need to develop a technique, isn't it? How to bring this positive action, this positive motivation into the situation. Then the last one, dedication. You've had the best motivation, you've done the best possible action, you've got this positive energy, which is really good to have, but now what would you like to do with it? Which direction would you like to send it in? The best direction to send it in is preferably your enemies. They're not the ones that you want to help. They're not the ones that you want to benefit. So then you feel the resistance. But why? Why should I give them anything? You know, they're not going to give me anything. They don't like me. That's not the point. The point is, you want to change your mind. You want to remove the rough mind, the uncomfortable mind, the irritable mind, the angry mind, the jealous mind. Where do those minds come from? You don't like me, I don't like you. So dedication is looking for an object or objects of dedication that is appropriate to your situation. to the situation that you want to change. So I'm not saying you should dedicate for this or to these people, but you find what you want to remove and then what you want to improve. Okay? So what you want to remove relates to your motivation. What you want to improve relates to the dedication. Does it make sense? Carlos is going. But does it make sense to you?
I would like to hear it much more.
This motivation. Okay. So what you want to remove, right, is in accordance with the motivation. So for instance, taking as an example anger. You want to remove anger. So therefore, what do you want to work with? Right? There's the opposite, right? So you're looking for the opposite. The opposite of anger, we know, is tolerance, patience, love, like that. So take a key word that is suitable for you. I think tolerance is very nice, because to tolerate, not in a negative way, but in a very positive way, to tolerate harm. The definition of patience is to tolerate harm and suffering voluntarily. We're not locking you in a room and making you suffer, and then you say, well, I suffered. It's you decided to stay in the room. You decided to stay in the situation, and you tolerated the suffering and came out of it patient, with a quality, not with whinging and moaning. Do you understand whinging and moaning? Oh, poor me. Oh, yeah. What a day. I had to listen to this person on the plane all day, like, oh, blah, 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 like this. Negative, negative, negative. Not like that. You need to come out of the situation more positive than negative. So how? Find the word, the emotion, the feeling that suits you, what you want to change. Okay? So in this case we're saying anger, then look at the other, irritability, tolerance, patience, love. So there's our motivation. I think it's better to choose one word. Otherwise you get a bit confused. If you think tolerance, patience, like this, in the end you get, oh, which one is it? Take one that really works for you. And then, not only that, this is what I'm doing, not only that, now you've got to do it. You've put yourself on the spot because you said, I'm going to do this. My motivation is, I'm setting the course in this direction. Right? So now you've taken the wheel of the ship, and the ship it's a good example because it's not so easy to turn. Right? So I've taken the wheel of the ship, and then sometimes I think we just let go of the wheel because of lack of concentration. We just let go. And then we start chatting to somebody. We start doing something, and we get lost. So in the action, we have to keep reminding ourselves the direction that we are going in order to achieve something positive with our motivation. All right? So the action should relate to the motivation. Not you have a motivation and the action is completely separate. They should accord with each other. Then, you've done the action. It was very good, but now you can get egotistical. Now you can. Because at the end you could say, wow, look at me. And you're with the bicycle pumping the ego, and the ego's getting bigger and bigger, and you think, wow, I'm on the edge of being Mother Teresa or Saint whatever, and you can get really inflated when you've done something different really well, and you're patting yourself too much. So dedication helps to remind you it's not just about you. You are cause and effect, causes and conditions, right? Without these other people, you could not achieve what you wanted to achieve. Without, say, the meeting, you could not be patient, right? Because if there were no people in the meeting, you could sit there very happily agreeing with yourself. You say, you're so intelligent. Yes, I am. I think you're the best in the world. Oh, do you really? You know, you could sit like that, having a great conversation, not irritating yourself at all. But you know when we're with other people, it's not so easy. When you're at home, often your parents are the worst ones, aren't they? Why are you wearing that? And why are you doing this? So your mother or your father can be the one who brings up the irritability. It can be your children, you know, poke, prod. They always seem to know when you've got no energy, and they come in with the poke, prod, right? So who are you going to give your energy to? It should be the ones who irritate you. It should be the ones that make problems for you, because they're the ones who are benefiting you. Isn't it? Without them, you're not in the university. You haven't entered the university. We've got the University of Life and your Patience 101. Right? If you say, I want to change my anger, you first of all have to register with the University of Life. So you go online and you register and you think, now which subject? I think I'll go for patience. So how are you going to register with the University of Life 101 patience? Well, you need to start dedicating, connecting with your generosity to those who do not want to benefit you. These people who are your enemies, who do not like you at all, are the ones that you really need to work on. Right? It's not that you don't like them. That's okay. It's the other way round. They don't like you. And you think, but what have I done? Why me? It's not fair. You know, we can go back to the victim mentality. It's not fair. I'm a nice person. We're not defending at all. What we're saying is, you have a right to not like me. You have a right. If you don't want to like me, no problem. You want to hate me? No problem. But from me, from my side, what I'm giving back is quality. I don't want revenge. I don't want hatred. What I want is qualities. How am I going to have those qualities if I keep doing something nasty back? You know? And so this dedication really challenges you. Because in the moment you say, now, there's that guy who really tried to get rid of me, and there's that one who really doesn't like me. And something deep down says, hold on. What on earth are you doing? You know? Dedicate for your mother and your father. The people who like you. You see how the mind comes up with this, do this, don't do this. And it's the habit of wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. But the way that we're developing the happiness is the wrong way. We want to get happiness from anger, hatred, jealousy, pride, arrogance, from the negative. We think the happiness is coming from there. But in actual fact, that's where the harm comes from. The problems come from there. The happiness comes from the qualities. So, why are you holding the burning piece of wood and saying, it's burning, but how do I let go? You know, we've got the training of holding on to what's burning. It's the negative that's burning, not the positive. Right? So mentally, we start to switch. You can only start with the mind. You can't start in person. Right? If we just say, Without this method, if we just say, I'm going to be good to my enemies. You go to work and the enemy comes up to you face to face and says, I really hate you, I'm taking your job, I want your office, blah, blah, blah. How easy is it to face the enemy and say, it's okay, I let go, you know? Of course feeling comes up. When somebody really hates you and you feel you haven't done anything, so it's unfair, that's when it's worse, when it's unfair. You think, well, you know, I did steal his dog, then it's fair, you know? I did take his job, then it's fair. But I've only been good to this person. I've helped them, I've trained them, I've nurtured them, I've mentored them, they've come up, and now they do something bad to me. It's unfair. This is the most dangerous situation because your ego is becoming involved. Your ego is about to attack. So how do we change that feeling? First, we need to know the feeling's there through mindfulness, but secondly, we need to start training in our daily activity. I call it M.A.D, to go mad. Go mad every morning. Motivation, action, dedication. It's easy to remember, right? M.A.D.